Alright, so a bit of a different style video for today because I haven't had that much time to film in the gym. So today we're going to be talking about the 3 main drivers of hypertrophy. Let's get into it. First of all, before we get into how a muscle grows, let's talk about why a muscle would grow in the first place. And this comes back to anything to do with an adaptation to a stressor. So say if you're in the wild, you're running away from a monkey or from a tiger or whatever it is, if your body is put under a strain where it's just able to do something, or even if it doesn't, even if you go to failure, right? So if you can't quite move away that log, your body is gonna have to be able to adapt so the next time you can move that log to go away. I know I'm not explaining this the best way, but it just kind of helps to understand a muscle gets bigger because there is a stress that's telling the body you need to make this muscle bigger so that it can be stronger so that you can move this log so that you can survive. Obviously this doesn't work if you can't move the log away and you end up dying, but let's not talk about that scenario this time. But just it all comes down to there's a stress which is telling the body, hey, you need to make this adaptation to this stressor so that you are able to survive. Okay, now that that's out of the way, let's actually talk about how a muscle grows. So, when you go to the gym and you're doing your bicep curls or you're doing a bench press, what's actually happening is your muscle belly is kind of like almost breaking apart. So say this is your biceps at the start, right? And then as you work them, as you train to failure, as you push them hard, they kind of go like this. And these things are called micro tears. You sleep well, when you drink your water, when you eat your protein, when you eat your veggies, these gaps in the muscle are then filled up. See my thumbs? They're being filled up by protein, right? So the next time it's actually bigger. Imagine this is like all filled together, right? And then the next time you go to the gym, you work them out, the gaps will be like this. And then these are all filled up, and then so your muscle is gonna get bigger and bigger and stronger and stronger. That's basically a very simplified version of how hypertrophy works. And so, the first main cause of hypertrophy is muscle damage / muscle disruption. There are a couple ways you can target this. The first main one is putting load through the stretched position of the muscle, right? Imagine you're on bench press, I'm lying down, I got the bar like this. There's so much load coming through in the lengthened position of the muscle. This is creating those micro tears, which will then be filled in and make the progress as we established before. I admit, I've been training for a couple of years and I haven't started tracking my weights and my reps until I finish this course. And this is when I've made the most gains because you're actually focusing in on creating progress throughout each workout. I can look back, see, okay, I did 100 for 3 last time. And when I'm in the working set, all I can think about is I just need 4. I just need 4, I just need to do better. And then when I get 4, I feel great, write it down, repeat the process next week. And this is called progressive overload, when you're doing more weight or more reps as the weeks go by. So the next thing we're going to be talking about is mechanical stress and mechanical tension. And this just refers to basically lifting heavy weights. When you lift heavy, your body releases growth hormone and testosterone that helps increase hypertrophy and basically just tells your body, hey, we're running away from a monkey right now. We need to be able to lift this log. And it's pretty much as simple as that. You know, obviously you want to be able to control your range of movement, control the stretch, control the squeeze, everything like that. But basically by overloading the muscle with a heavy stressor, that's how you cause muscle growth. Alright guys, and the last kind of thing I want to talk about under this pillar of hypertrophy is the mind-muscle connections. This is very important to be able to know what muscle you're working, how you're working it, and just being able to feel it during a set is a big motivator. And I know for a lot of beginners, you won't have that mind-muscle connection, but it's okay because you'll get there. and it's just one of those things that just comes with time. You can't really force it, but it is very important to be able to feel your muscles when you work them. And the last kind of pillar that I want to talk about today is metabolic stress. Higher reps, your higher sets, your lower rest, just kind of getting that heart rate up. It's still more of like a pump / burn style training, but it is very important. Yeah, so here you're basically fatigue maxing, you're volume maxing, you're just working in that higher amount. And this is still very important. I know a lot of people still just go to that 2 sets to failure, which, you know, obviously that's how I train as well. But it is very important to still include some higher reps here and there. So an example of this type of training is drop sets or supersets. Basically, a drop set is when you're dropping down the weight, but you're still doing the same exercise. And a superset is when you're doing a different exercise and you're dropping the weight, so you're still able to do it. It's just creating that variance, it's creating that metabolic stress, all great things for muscle growth. You don't have to train like this for all of your sets. In fact, I would encourage you not to if your main goal is muscle growth, but it is still very important to train like this sometimes. You don't want to be just adapted to be lifting heavy for less reps. Looking at it from a health point of view, it's still very important to be able to, you know, put in sustained effort. You know, like a lot of these people, they can lift really heavy, but they can't go for a run. Like, yeah, whatever, everyone's got their own goals, everyone's subject to their own things, but if you're just thinking about it from a health point of view, the right thing is to be well versed across all the different types of training. So just to do a little recap, the first main pillar of muscle growth is muscle damage / disruption. This is what we were talking about with that variance, with your tracking the weights, with your progressive overload. The next thing we're talking about is mechanical stress, mechanical tension. That's just like you're lifting your heavy weight, it's producing these signals in your body that tells you to promote muscle growth. And then the final thing is that metabolic stress. So working that little bit of a higher rep range, higher sets, a little bit less rest. So this is just what I've learned in my course. I know there are a lot of different studies going on out there. A lot of new information is coming out. This is what I was taught and this is what I agree with. And implementing these into my own training, I have made incredible gains and I would encourage you to do the same. So thank you guys very much for watching and I'll see you next week.
Don't buy no time. There's too much grub on the ends. Had to up and leave, had to rise that line. Big spliff, that's one to the head, put one on his head, got